Well, what a game that was. I mean, Xander Bogaerts, obviously he gets the walk-off home run. I know these games don't matter now, but at least they're making it entertaining. I think that's 6 wins in a row now for the Padres. Obviously the longest win streak of the season. And going into tonight, obviously it was Blake Snell watch, Cy Young front runner, and it feels like he just locked down the NL Cy Young tonight. What a freaking performance from him. 7 innings, doesn't give up a hit, obviously no runs. And I knew he was not going to finish the game. So I'm not pissed off that Melvin took him out and put Robert Suarez in the game, and then Hader comes in the game for the ninth. I knew that was going to happen. Just go look at the pitch count. I think Bob Melvin knows, okay, it would be cool for a no-hitter, but Blake Snell, it's a business. He's a free agent at the end of the year. You don't need him to go get hurt. And just pitch count wise, he was not going to be able to finish this. Because if he pitched the 8th inning, the 9th inning, how many pitches would he have ended up with? 130? More than that, maybe? Just based on how it was going. I think he started the 7th inning, or maybe he was 6 1/3 innings in with 96 pitches. So he was already up there. This was not a situation where, oh, he could have finished this game in 110 pitches, something like that. That's not how it was going to go. So I'm fine with it. But what a performance from Blake. I am more than happy to be wrong about my underdog fantasy pregame pick. I had 9Ks lower. He gets just over that. 10Ks for Blake. What a night. The curveball was working. He's super fun to watch, obviously, when he is on. His stuff is just next level. Whenever he faces someone for the second time, for the third time, the opposing lineup, he gets better. His numbers against the opponent get better. The opponents get worse. And Elieris Montero, I think is that guy's name. He's striking out 7 times in a row, and Blake contributed to that. So what a performance from Blake. It just sucked that the offense wasn't able to make it more of a comfortable win for Blake. Or Blake, I don't even think he gets the win because it was tied when he left. Obviously, it was a walk-off, so I guess Hader would get the win. But yeah, I just wish I wish any runs would have been scored for Blake while he was in the game, because this Padres offense continued to struggle there. I mean, there were some questionable decisions, like Tatis on the ground ball to third. Why are you running home there? It was a suicide squeeze, I guess, right? Soto on third. After stealing third, he gets thrown out there because a ball goes in the dirt with Profar trying to bunt. Gets thrown out. So little things like that, it kind of left you scratching your head oh my gosh, they wasted opportunity there. Profar grounds into a double play to end an inning late. It's just oh man, this is going to suck if they end up losing this game. I know these games, we know the season's over, but you still want to win a game when Blake Snell goes 7 no-hit innings. And at that point, they still had the no-hitter going. So Suarez gets through it. Hader obviously gives up a hit. But, bottom 9, didn't have a whole lot of confidence that the Padres were going to be able to score there. I thought this was going to go to extra innings, and maybe the Padres would be able to get their first win in extra innings. But for Bogaerts to get the walk-off home run there, that's a fun moment, obviously. And Bogaerts, he's had a disappointing season. He has really struggled. But for him to get that moment, I think that's obviously the moment of the season for Xander Bogaerts this year. At least he's going to have one of those moments in a Padres uniform this season. Because if he didn't have this moment, what would have been that Xander Bogaerts moment in 2023? That signature moment. I know it's been a bad season, but what would be that moment? Would you go back to April? Maybe I'm forgetting a moment, but would you go back to April when he was in the April MVP conversation? I don't know, but here's the moment. And this has to be probably one of the wins of the year for the Padres. It wasn't a big comeback win. The offense, didn't do anything really for a lot of the game. But Blake Snell pitched really well, and then the walk-off at the end, you got to put it up there. I put it up there with the Dodgers comeback the other night. I put it up there with the July 4th game against Ohtani, where Crony and Xander had back-to-back home runs. Those are the ones that stick out to me. But yeah, what a night. I mean, did you think that Blake Snell should have continued pitching? Let me know in the comments. I'll do a live show tomorrow after the Padres-Rockies series finale. I did a show today, if you missed that, on the Preller, the long article from Dennis Lin, Ken Rosenthal, about A.J. Preller, the Padres. You know what happened. And then Also, late last night at like midnight, was doing a show on Manny Machado. Why hasn't he had surgery yet? So there's a couple shows there that you can catch up on if you have not watched or listened yet. Thank you so much for the time here. Post-game reaction. Give your thoughts on this game in the comments. It was an entertaining one for sure, and Padres pull out the win.